Hi, this is Charlie. Welcome back. We're going to work on our next signature. It's going to be the second signature for our page 1. Now, before we get there, each of these I pulled out and I covered only one side. I used the stock. I used the A4 paper. Where is it? There we go. And I chose these 3 designs out of the A4 packet to cover. Now the A4, when you turn it this way, it's a perfect cut. So all you're having to cut is this width. So you can cut it as deep as you want. And then when I turned it over, I used the same paper. I cut 1-inch strips on this back side. Now, if there's enough paper left over toward the end of the album build, then you can go ahead, maybe come in and cover the rest of this. So these are done. And I'm just going to put it back in place real quick. And there. Okay, so now we're on to this signature. I used this piece as my base. It's got the floral grouping up here. And then on the reverse side, again, it has those cards, and then it's got that half sheet design. And then I went in and out of the flowers, I fussy cut a flower, and I'm going to replace this with this. I'm just going to secure down the very center of this, because then you can come in, let me just grab a piece of paper here, then you can come in and put in a tuck here, but this leaves a big spot here for a nice photo. So we can use one of these cards as an example. So it gives you a beautiful spot here for a photo, but you can also use this here as a tuck. Just a little change from all the pockets. So I am just going to glue this just the center of it down. And I'm just going to cover this. Now, if you don't want to do this and you want to just leave it as it is, I'm going to kind of off-center this just a little bit so I can pick up some of the blues in the flower behind it. Here's a green one, and then you got the tuck. So that's done. Now, silly me. This I cut at the same 8 3/8 across by the same 8 5/8 in the height. Now our first panel, you're going to cut 2 of these. They're going to be 5 1/4. These 2 pieces are actually scraps. You should have them. It's from making some of the other cuts. And the chipboard, that's chipboard. You know what this is. Cardstock. Goodness sakes, it's been a long day. So all I had to do on one was just trim it just about 1/16 in order for these to match. So these came in at 5 1/4. You are going to score. So they are 8 5/8 in height by 5 1/4 with a 1/2 inch score. You're going to want 2 of them. So again, 8 5/8 by 5 1/4, scoring it at a 1/2. And we're going to have 2, and I'm going to go ahead and get tape on mine and we're going to get them into onto the base page. And now on these, I rounded my corners. I did the die cut on the front flaps. My glue is seeping. I need to put my cap on, and I don't know where it is. Oh no. Okay, I'm not gonna stress. Just deal with it. Charlie, just deal with it. Okay, so these are both going to come in here. They're going to overlap. That's the intent. I want some good coverage for photos. We have several signatures to go, so I'm going a little bit light on each of the signatures because I've added an extra page than what I'm normally doing. All right, the pieces I used were these two. On the back side of this was a lot of the cut aparts. The back side of this one is, let me get the other one so I can kind of put them together so you can see what they look like. It's this one, and this had part of a clock over here. I just love this. Maybe I'll switch sides. Let me think here. So if I did it this way for that piece, and then under here, again, it was the cut apart. That went like that. And then I cut a 1 1/4 inch band by the width of the flap, and I fussy cut out some flowers. And they're going to go like this, just so that there's a little bit of an element. I'm going to run a tape down the center. This will be 1/8 of an inch strip so that these are tucks. So rather than taping or gluing, you can, this being a winter theme, you can change out your photos by just putting them into the tuck. Now, if you've got photos you want to commit, then you've got a decent spot here to actually glue them or tape them in. Oh, there it is right there. Look at this. I don't know why it's doing this. It's bleeding. It's not stopping. It must be getting empty because I think that's air pushing the glue up. Okay, so this is set. Very good. All right, so let's work here on the inside. Oh, now I'm going to undo my glue. This is that tree that we fussy cut on the front when we decorated the front of the album. It's so pretty. And the stockings, there's the candle. And that's the star we used. All right, so now my band. Oh, there it is. So we're just going to run roughly down the center. I'm not going to be worried about it being exact. But I do want to try to be somewhat centered top to bottom, so that I have, so that's about 3.5 inches, and so that's So I can come down just a smidgen. Okay, so now we know where we want to be. I have a little bit of snipping I want to do here. Cut it too long. There we go. So let me just double check the length on this. I'm going to snip it just a little bit. Okay, I'm happy with that. That's such a beautiful piece of paper. I really like it. And we'll just add a little bit of glue here to the flower, put it here in the center. Okay, so that's done. And you have a nice tuck top and on the bottom. So while we're here, let's go ahead and add this piece in. You know, I liked that. Oh, wait a minute, can I just reverse them? No. See, here's the bell. I can't. I have to stick with the other side. Yeah, see, everything will be upside down. This is right side up. This is right side up. So I could do it if I just swapped sides. So the ball Christmas ornament. This is so pretty. And then we've got the clock here. I think we're going to put them on this way. I like this side, but sometimes I fail to turn a piece of paper over. I focused on this. I wasn't focusing on the piece on the back side. But after cutting it and turning it over, it actually turned out pretty nice. And I do love this lacy pattern. So we're going to play with this. And then we have the other half of the clock. No, I'm going to stick with this. I had inked the other side, so I want to add a little bit of ink to this side. You can kind of see it, but not very well because that's not how I had my sponge angled. Okay, now we will put on this piece. There's the bow we used. We're going to run a little bit of tape through here. So where did I end up on that? That was about 8 5/8, or 3 5/8, 3 5/8. So I'm going to come in here at 3 5/8. So now they're band right straight across, but I cut both of these. Oh, that's not even straight. Charlie. Let's just put it on there crooked. It's a good thing it's a little strip of, oh, don't tear down. Oh, sorry for the word. I apologize. Okay, hold on here. Okay, so am I going to be even? Not really. Okay, I think I got it. Okay, now I've got myself a little flustered here. There we go. Better than what it was. I forgot I needed to trim that down. Now I'm going to turn it around before I put the flower down, so I make sure I get the flower going in the correct direction. And it complements what we've got going here. Okay, so that will close. All right, let's work on the outside panels. I'm going to close this off real quick here. Hold on. Don't go anywhere, guys. All right. Excuse me. Okay, as you can see, we are going to use the piece of paper that has the skates on it. On the back side, it's the wood panel. Now, these I do believe are kind of staggered a little bit, so you will cut and trim accordingly. I have taken the Hello Winter, fussy cutted it out, and then I put it on blue cardstock and then some pop-ups, so we got a little bit of depth going there. And I did the same thing over here. I cut out Have a Nice Day, backed it, and popped it up, and so that will sit right there. On the back side, I used this piece, so it's on both back panels. And each panel, I do believe, is the same, if I remember correctly. No, one's going to be just as... no, they're the same size. Okay, so we are going to, from the point of this, we're going to go about 1/8 of an inch beyond that. So you're going to come in at 6 5/8, so 8 3/8, no, 8 5/8 is your height. by 6 5/8. And then you're going to score it at 1/2, and then you're going to score it at 5/8, and you're going to cut 2 panels. These put on, and then we'll pay a visit to the magnet, adding those on. Now I'm coming up to the 5/8 score line so that my gusset's on the outside versus it being more forward. I want this to wrap around here nicely. Now let's look and see. Good, no tape showing. Okay, let's talk about, oh, we got lots of room we can put magnets on. So it's going to really depend on which one you want on the top. Do you want the skates that say Hello Winter? And then when you close this, the way I have it, when you close this, you then have this over here that says have a nice day. So that's how those work. Now, the piece I put in down here is the one that's got the big circle, but we're going to work with this side. And I just realized, oh, I got them flipped. Oh, I thought I cut one upside down, but I have them flipped over in my hands. Excuse me for just a moment. My apologies. Okay, so I'm gonna just do a dry fit here. I think I might trim a little bit off the edge so I can pull it back off of right up next to that gusset. There we go. I'm starting to see, but I think I'm going to cut it back just a smidgen more. Not much, just a smidgen. There we go. I like to see that little bit of that blue edge. All right. What am I thinking here? Just so that you know, this ended up cutting right at 5 5/8. If I go from edge to this tip, it cut in at 5 5/8. But you're more than likely not using the same die that I'm using. All right, we need to get the magnets here and here before we do anything else. So let's get a set of those out. And I'm just going to pull it back here about 1 inch. And make sure top to bottom is even and that my gussets are flat. Okay. A little additional security. Okay, let's work on the inside. Okay, so this is going to be fun. Not really. Because of the magnet, I am going to be taping on this side, which means I need to use a thinner tape because it's easier. Defeats the purpose if I glue this scalloped edge. So I am going to have to tape it as well, but I'm going to use this tape so that I can try and get in and around the edges by bending it. It's a lot easier to do because it's thinner. It will take me just a little bit of time, so bear with me. And, you know, if I glued my magnet pieces down, this would not be an issue, but I don't glue these pieces down because of the magnets. All right, now, because that tape already wants to lift, I'm going to burnish from this side. And I'm going to make sure, oh, Charlie, boy, that was not a smart move at all. Do you think I could cause any further mishap? I want to make sure that tape is scrolled down. I think I'm going to need to give up for the day when I'm done with this. Fortunately, on this side, I can glue it. I had a bit of a cutting mishap, so I had to fix it. So excuse me while I pull the tape off. Yeah, this is going empty. So it's the air beneath the glue that's pushing it up. And that's why I'm having that bleed problem. I just saw something. Can I get this up before it does its thing? Ah, for Pete's sake. I just saw something. There we go. All right, let's work on this one. This side, we can glue this piece down. Paying close attention to the cutout. We want to make sure that that's flat up against the cardstock. Okay, I think I would rather have it be, I want the tip to balance. What I saw is I did not cut. I cut too much off of this end. So I'm going to have a wider border, but I want this to line up. So it is what it is. And then we're just going to pop this right back into place. And now we will do the same for the front. Oh, I give up. I am just going to leave all the glue on there. I'm not going to take it off. I should have done tape on this. And why is the magnet there? Okay. I just totally butchered this signature for my part. I hope yours is going a lot better. Jeez. Oh, I am going to definitely call it a day when I'm done here. So what happened was I put the magnet here and here, but I wanted it to be this way. So this is the way it's going to go. Again, it is what it is. All right, let's turn it over and let's get some tape on the back side. We can get it in our album. right. I love it when the signatures go in, you start to feel the weight of the album take place. Just my luck, I thought I put this on upside down, but I didn't. Okay. Make sure my gusset stays flat and that it doesn't want to collapse. I'm going to make sure this gusset stays straight as well. Okay. Beautiful spot here for a large photo. We've got some decent sized photos with a tuck. Put photos here. You've got photo panels here. And there we go. All right, I'll see you on the next signature. Until then.